start with NBL. NBL is an architecture, urban design, and land planning firm here in Fayetteville. We've sort of been best known for our corporate work over the years, but recently that started to change. Recently, we worked on the new Walmart home office in Bentonville. This is a 350-acre master plan for the new corporate headquarters for the business. When you go to Bentonville today, it's sort of physically impossible to miss it. But for those of you that had certain ideas in your mind about what Walmart is as a company, we're really proud to say that this really is urbanism. We pulled the Greenway corridor through the campus. We centered it on 8th Street. We pulled downtown city streets into campus. So whatever you might think of, for example, the Apple spaceship out in California, this is sort of not that. This is completely different from that. And we think it's really cool that Walmart is making urbanism. On the dramatic other end of the scale spectrum, this is a project just a couple blocks away here in Fayetteville. This is 10 townhouses arranged around a courtyard on a quarter-acre lot. This is a wood frame building. We did this with a first-time developer. We're really proud of this, by the way. We did this with a first-time developer. We built it for $135 a square foot. It's sort of stumbling distance from Dixon Street. And we're going to talk more about projects as we go like this, because this is something that we think is really important. Medium scale now, this is something that we just kicked off on. This is something we have on the boards. It's actually about a block and a half away from the other project that I just showed you, again, a couple blocks away. This is a little bit more conventional. This is 75 units on 1 acre. It's a 3-story stacked flat walk-up building, got a couple courtyards. Not really groundbreaking in terms of architecture, but we're actually proud of that. The idea here is to bring back some of the kind of interwar modernism, industrial deco that is right now a little bit too sporadic around Dixon Street. We think that bringing back some of that character is going to be a good thing for the area. And lastly, I actually hadn't planned to talk about these projects, but relative to our conversation today, I think this is going to be important. This is 2 neighborhood scale affordable housing projects that are actually just starting construction right now. And in terms of the way that we think about things at Pattern Zones, placing design at the center of the conversation, using prototypical building types, hopefully we'll have more of a chance to talk about these projects as we go. If you've seen me talk at CNU the last couple of years, you probably know me best for Pattern Zones. This is a company that I started with my very good friend Matthew Petty, who's right here. Hopefully you guys know Matthew Petty as well. We started this company at a time that both of us were serving as city officials here in the city of Fayetteville. He was a long-serving city council member. I was chairman of the planning commission. And both of us were really just sort of dissatisfied with a municipal planning process that we felt discounted or fundamentally misunderstood the role of convenience in driving development and design. So we wanted to change that. So we started a company that basically what Pattern Zones does is it pairs great architects, guys like Eric and some others, with small towns and cities to create pre-approved building programs. Because we have great relationships with several architects, we're able to pre-approve usually in the dozens of buildings in every town that we work with. That's really important because it allows us to have a lot of choice. So if you're someone who lives in a town that we've worked in, you want to build an ADU or you want to build a townhouse, you're going to have 8 to 10 choices within that individual building type. It's usually free to use, so when we work with the city, usually the city is actually sponsoring that architecture for applicants, and it's designed for convenience. So we're not just addressing building safety, we have complete sets of construction documents that bringing through building safety. We're also addressing things like drainage, things like the sidewalks, things like the tree preservation ordinance. Usually we're doing mass rezonings either through an overlay district or modifications to underlying zoning designations or even upzonings. And the whole idea here is to curate a specific path of convenience that leads to the most desirable outcome, namely great missing middle architecture in downtown contexts, which is obviously really difficult. This is one of our first prototype projects. This is Claremore, Oklahoma. It's a town of about 19,000 people just near Tulsa. They have a planning staff of 2, and they are turning around building permits for missing middle infill housing projects in under 48 hours. I want to say that again, under 48 hours, missing middle infill projects. If you've got experience doing this really anywhere else, you know that's pretty astounding, and it's a little bit different from the norm. Here's the thing with our programs. What you see is what you get. When you go to our website, you type in your address, we show you a list of all the buildings that are pre-approved on your lot. You can see that as a developer. You can see every building that's pre-approved on your lot, but your neighbors can too. This represents a pretty big shift in thinking around how we can code downtowns for design. So most people, no surprise to everyone in this room, most people can't read zoning codes. They don't know what it means. It scares them. It causes them to oppose anything that even starts to smell like change in their neighborhood. So when we do these projects, we actually show up to town meetings with 3D models of all the buildings that we want to pre-approve in people's neighborhoods. And actually centering the conversation around design brings people together in a way that you could just never do with a code language change. So that's pretty simple, central to our message. We can't do this alone. We need great practitioners to implement pattern zones. We need great architects to license their work to us for use in pattern zones. So if this is something that you're interested in, please get a hold of us. Also on the design firm side, please get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to you.
Thank you.